Creative is going after the content creators hard with this one. Whether it's for music, podcast, live streaming, or general audio voice recording like this, the Live Audio A3 USB audio interface seemingly does it all, and in a surprisingly small package as well, coming in at 7.3 by 4.3 by 2.07 inches. It's a small, versatile box that feels nice and weighty and well put together too. The build quality feels great, though the dials feel a little bit on the cheaper side, though there is no real wiggle in them, which is a good sign. The Audio A3 is covered in a soft to touch matte black finish, which admittedly is a bit of a fingerprint magnet, and there are 4 rubber feet on the base to keep the A3 in a fixed position on your desk. If you push it, of course, it's going to move, but if you're just twisting the dials, it won't move and it will stay pretty much stuck in place. In terms of inputs, the Creative Live Audio A3 is pretty generous. Now up front, you've got 2 1/4-inch headphone out ports. Around back though, you've got a plethora of ports, as you can see on the camera now. So around back from left to right, you've got a 1/4-inch balanced, unbalanced stereo out to send to a pair of monitors. The next are 2 XLR 1/4-inch combo ports for microphones and instruments that use 1/4-inch jacks, and you can also find 2 high Z switches to control your impedance, which will allow you to use this A3 with a guitar or bass guitar, or other instruments, reducing the damage to the audio interface. The switch is labeled line/inst, which inst of course stands for instrument. Both XLR jack combi inputs can be controlled individually with the dials on the front. And finally, there's a 48 volt phantom power button for compatible studio microphones like the one I'm using right now. The final inputs on the right hand side are a TRRS 3.5mm mobile stereo I/O, so you can play recordings and videos and capture the audio or even record phone calls in real time. And the last is a USB-C for power and data, so you can plug it directly into a desktop or a laptop. But now I've run everything into OBS, everything seems to be working. So as you can see on my second camera, just up here, I've got a video on my screen from the TechNuovo YouTube channel, and when I click play, it's been a long while since I've had my hands on a mobile phone from Motorola. Now, a few years ago, we took a look at the Moto G50. You can hear that video playing. So let's quickly run over some specs. For playback, you've got a max resolution of 16 or 24-bit at 96 kHz, though this can be reduced if need be. And for recording, the resolution is 24-bit up to 96 kHz, but please note that both playback and recording must be set at the same sampling rate too, which, to be honest with you, isn't much of a problem. The frequency response sits at 20 to 45,000 Hz and a microphone gain of up to 50 decibels. And finally, it has a total harmonic distortion of 0.05%. So recording on this thing is incredibly simple to get started. Now, as I'm not really much of a musician or have really the means to plug any instruments into this thing, I stuck with testing it with a microphone, of which I'm using the Audio-Technica AT2020 in white. Now, it's a fantastic condenser microphone and one that puts the Audio A3 through its paces for sure. Now, I use Adobe Audition, as you can see right here, to record audio for content, and used it successfully with the A3 as well. Now, by default, after downloading the A3 driver from the Creative website, when I started a new multi-track project, the A3 was sending XLR input 1 to the left channel and XLR input 2 to the right channel, which made the audio sound a little bit disorientating. You know, having a different voice in each ear. Now, because of the nature of this audio interface, you can set it up to record on 2 separate tracks at the same time. In the audio hardware settings, I set my device class to ASIO and then targeted each microphone individually inside of the multi-track window. I had to choose to record in mono on both tracks because if I tried to record in stereo, again, I'd only get a single channel being recorded. But this is okay. Each voice being mono means that I can manually pan the audio, so I had no problems with this. Now, when it came to using the A3 with OBS Studio for more of live streaming type purposes, it wasn't really as simple, as OBS does not come standard with the ability to read ASIO devices. This means that when you pull in an audio input device, both XLR1 and XLR2 are pulled through a single source. And again, XLR1 pans to the right and XLR2 pans to the left. I had to turn the audio input device into a mono device in the advanced audio options to get this working right. Something like OBS will then have to rely on the mixing done on the Audio A3 interface, which again, you've got each individual dial that you can control the gain levels for. But I think this is alright if you're recording some kind of podcast, as you can monitor your audio to see who's clipping either on OBS or directly on the machine itself. Or if you're someone who likes to get involved with plugins and such, you can find ASIO plugins directly for OBS Studio on something like GitHub, which will ensure that each microphone input can be pulled in as a separate audio source. But in terms of audio quality though, you tell me. You're listening to this video and it's being entirely recorded on the AT2020 plugged into this thing, so let us know in the comments below what you think. Paired with the Audio-Technica AT2020, I was just vastly impressed. It sounded decent and gave a decent audio quality to when I recorded on both OBS while creating content, and also while recording through Adobe Audition while testing it for podcast uses. I must say though that coming from something like the Wave XLR, I do miss having those built-in EQ effects that you can put onto your voice in software, especially from a live streaming perspective. Of course, yes, with OBS Studio, you can download various plugins to do this. But if you want to record raw audio and then edit it later, which is pretty much how most podcasts that aren't live do it, then it'll work absolutely for that. And before we conclude this video, I just wanted to test a variety of microphones when plugged into the A3 audio interface. This is the type of audio that you can expect when pairing the Creative A3 audio with a Wave DX microphone from Elgato. And now I've just paired the Creative Audio A3 with a Rode Procaster microphone. I've had to change the gain to about 80 to 90% to get a decent audio level from it. And for the final pairing, I've got a 512 Audio Skylight, which is a very nice condenser microphone paired with the Creative Live A3 audio interface. The Creative Live Audio A3 audio interface comes in at around $150 and €150. I couldn't find the price in pounds anywhere, but if I had to guess, you're probably going to be looking at a similar price, maybe between 120 and 150 pounds, something like that. But this is total guesswork until we see some pricing from Creative. All I can say though is that I am a very big fan. It's easy to set up and small enough to fit into even the smallest of game spaces. And if you're in the market for a way to produce a high quality podcast on a budget, or to level up your game audio when you live stream, for example, then this could be the product for you. I definitely would have liked some built-in EQ to edit your voice sound in real time though, but this is probably something that you could consider for next time, maybe Creative, or if you can produce a new driver for this thing, that would be good too. Thank you very much for checking out this video review of the Creative Live Audio A3 audio interface. Bit of a mouthful, that one. If you did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to keep up with our latest tech and gaming videos, and also let us know in the comments down below what you think about this device. Is this something that you would use for your live streaming or even podcast needs, or have you got any other devices that you just absolutely love which is similar to this? Let us know in the comments down below. As I say, thanks very much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.